Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine and welcome to day 30. Oh, we're so close. Day 30 of 31 days of Christmas crafting. I think this is going to be a bit of a chonker, this project. And I'm going to show you what we're going to make today. So I've made this masculine version using up some paper from my stash. Enjoy the wonders of the season. It's a free sentiment stamp that came with issue 100 of Creative Stamping magazine, and you lift, this is magnetized, you lift and reveal, you have a little gift inside this box. Now this is not my idea. Sam Calcott of Mixed Up Crafting made this, and I will leave a link to her video down below. She's an awesome crafter. So we're going to make another one together. We might get stuck because it is a bit complicated, but bear with. So we've got my masculine one, which houses this little Maltesers treat bar. You could put whatever you wanted in there. And we're going to make one that is not Christmassy, just to show you that you could, you know, switch this up and is more feminine. So I'm going with the black cardstock because it is the only decent cardstock I've got that is 12 by 12. I mean, I use A3, but it's the only decent cardstock you need. So you will need, for the actual outside of the box, you will need a piece that is 9.5 by 12. Then you will need a piece that is, I don't know why that went funny then. Then you will need a piece for the pop out bit that is 5 inches by 9 3/8, and then you will need a little piece to reinforce the base of your pop out piece that is 2 3/8 by 4 1/4. So we're going to work on this piece first, which is the pop out piece. On the short side you want to score at 2.5, and on the long side you want to score at 2.5 and 6 7/8. And in fact what you want to do is cut this piece not exactly at 5 inches. You need to cut it at 4 15/16. 4 15/16. It just means that you'll be able to close your box more easily. Then we are going to fold and burnish these score lines. And you should see that you've got a bit that is slightly shorter. Let me just check that I have cut that to 4 5/16. Yes, I have. Yes. So you've got a little bit that is just a tiny bit shorter. You can see here you've got a little overhang, and what you want to do on the bottom is just write in pencil base. Okay, that's not going to be seen and we can rub it out. Then we can burnish and fold, or fold and burnish these lines. I've got a little bit of silver in mine for some reason, because in fact, actually, if we fold it that way, we won't see it. Yeah, I used a different scoring tool because this one is going a bit, it's really pointy at the edge and was kind of scratching the paper. So let's just write base on this bit again. It's just because I've got this silver line. I've got gilding. I know what it was. I'd put a little bit of gilding wax on the bottom of my scoring tool to pick it up out of the jar, and it was still on the scoring tool. So yeah, we'll be fine. So what we want to do now is gently, or carefully rather, cut up this score line here. Just till you meet that horizontal line. Rotate and do exactly the same. Now I'm going to just, well, no, it doesn't matter. You need to then get your reinforcement piece and glue that down. So we will do that. Okay, just glue that down like so, and this just makes the base of your box stronger so that you can, you know, you might be putting something heavy inside. Okay, then what we want to do is punch some holes for the ribbon. So I've got my little 1/8 of an inch hole punch here, which is probably going to struggle to cut through these actually, but let's give it a go. And you kind of just want to go for the centre, go in as far as your hole punch will go. Mine doesn't go very far, and punch. Oh, that went through okay, but it won't come out. Come on, out you come. There we go. And then you're going to punch another one about like so. You could use a pokey tool if you haven't got a hole punch. So there we've got 2 holes for our ribbon. Okay, now we're going to decorate the front and back of our box before we glue it together. So I have cut from all my matten layers from this section, from this paper pad, which I got from Cheryl Simone Crafts, and I've used this one here, this butterfly one, and I'm going to use this for the inside of the box and this for the outside of the box. So for the inside, back and front pieces, you need 2 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 4 1/8, and you're just simply going to glue those on there like so. I will do that and come back to you. So I've done that, and I've gone ahead and I've punched the holes in the paper again, using the holes that were already there as a guide. I'm just going to rub that out, because we know now that we've got our paper stuck down which is the right side. And what you're going to do is bring this in like so and glue these corners, and you will see that it doesn't quite match. I hope you can see it doesn't quite match because we've got one side that is very slightly shorter. So I'm going to put some collal on this part here, I think, just for strength's sake, because we're going to be getting quite a lot of action on this. So bring this up and bring that back, and just make sure that your edge is at this corner here. You've got a nice corner, and I'm just going to let that set a minute because we know that collal doesn't set very quickly, and I'm just going to use my bone folder in that corner there just to give that a smoosh down, and I shall do the same on the other side. So we're bringing this in, bringing this corner in, this corner up. I'm going to apply glue to this flap here, and just adhere like so. And again, you can see that we haven't got an even bit here, but that doesn't matter because we're going to cut away part of that box in a minute. Oh, see what I mean about collal not sticking, and I've got glue snot there. Right, the good thing about collal is that it does come off nice and easily. I'm going to set that piece aside for a minute to let that dry, and I'm going to work on the box now. So, score marks on the box. So, bear with, just looking at my notes. So, on the long side, you are going to score at 1, 3 1/2, And my lighting's gone funny again. I am sorry about that. It's if I do that, does that make any difference? No. Very strange. 1, 3.5, 6, 8.5 and 11. On the short side, you're going to score at 2.5 and 7. And we're going to just fold and burnish all of these score lines again. It's a bit of a beast, this piece at the moment, but it is going to fold down. And the beauty is that this is a really strong little box. And if you didn't want to do the secret reveal bit, you could just make this as a box. But I think the secret reveal bit is quite nice. And then this 1-inch section here, just burnish that. Okay, so there we've got all of our bits burnished. Now, so we need to cut here and here, I think. No, hold on. Bear with. I know that I need to cut this section away here. So these last 2 sections here, I'm going to cut away, cut up to that first score line and carefully cut. And I'm going to do that on this side. And this is going to be the lid of our box. Turn it away from you again, and you're going to just cut up this short section here and this short section here. Okay. Then you're going to cut this score line up to the horizontal, this score line up to the horizontal, but don't cut that because you'll cut that tab away. Rotate and do the same on the other side. This score line and this score line, but don't cut this away because you'll cut your tab off. And you might want to do some notching. We will have a look and see, but essentially let's just give that a good burnish down and that a good burnish down. Essentially this is going to be the top of the box, and I'm going to round the corners of this. This is going to be the side of the box, and this is going to be the front of the box, and it's going to fold over like that, and these bits here are going to act as a reinforcement to our edges. So wish me luck, and don't waste these. You know, these are quite decent sized squares. They are 2.5, and you could straighten them up and make backgrounds for twinches out of those, so don't get rid of those. Yes, so I don't get confused, I'm going to use my envelope punch board and round the corners of this here. That's not very good. That's better. and that's better. Okay, now let's have a look and see if we want to do any notching. I think what we can do, we want to glue that to that and that to that. Okay, so I'll do one side and I'm just checking that that fits nicely. Yes, it does. Okay, so I'm going to do one side. So I'm going to use Collal again for strength. I'm going to glue, oops, I'm going to bring up my box and glue that to that and give it a smooshing down, making sure that this is as straight as possible. And then I'm going to glue this to that. And again, I'm just going to hold it in place until it is set. And I'm just going to go in with my bone folder and make sure that that is really nice. The glue is spread out. And just bring it in so that all of my edges are nice and neat. And your seam is at the back of your box. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Just glue those squares together. Just moving that out of the way. So I will be back in a minute. So I've done that, and just to save time, I've also gone ahead and I've glued these flaps down. So I'll just show you the last one. Just bend that back so you can see. I'm going to apply some of my quick grab glue this time. And I'm just going to fold that in like so and give that a good burnish down. And it just gives the box a really lovely finish. And you could have that just as a box with that tucked in, but we're going to add some magnets now. We love our magnets on Paper and Twine. We're not very good at applying them, but we do love our magnets. And as I say, Mr. Paper and Twine found these and gave them to me, and I'm getting through them at a bit of a rate. I shall need some more. So I'm just going to get 2 out to start with. And I'm going to put a dab of glue there. That's the problem with being left-handed. I cover everything up for you. And a dab of glue there. That's quite a lot of glue. And I'm going to just pop that down like so. Pop that down like so. And we can start to put our box together and decorate it. So for the inside piece, for the tab, you will need 2 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 3/4. And again, I've gone ahead and rounded the corners. So I'm just going to glue that on. Like so. And just that corner wasn't particularly well rounded, but never mind. I'll just let that adhere. While we're at it, we might as well do our other flap, making sure it is the right way. So it is a bit complicated, but I love this box construction. It really is very strong. And we've got that on the front of our box. Now, I'm going to get another 2 magnets. And they will find their spot, as it were. They are very strong, but they do have to work hard to go through 2 bits of paper. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue on there and on there, and then just let that sit for a minute. And if you didn't want to use magnets, you could use Velcro dots, and obviously you would just skip this step out. So I'm just going to let that set and I'll come back to you. While that's setting, we can get on with the other bits. Now, if you wanted to, you could just cut on our pop-out piece, you could just cut a straight line along that diagonal. But Sam did a curved line. Let's just bring in my scissors, and you could draw around something to, if you weren't very confident, but I'm just going to literally eyeball cutting a curve, and obviously I want to hit that diagonal like so. It's not perfect, but you know, you get the idea. And do the same on this piece, and we're cutting up to that diagonal like so. Not brilliant curves, I need better scissors, but put those bits in the rubbish. Then you will need to tie some ribbon. It's easier to do this before you pop your box together. So I'm just cutting a length of black ribbon. Do quite a big piece because you can cut it down. It depends what you're going to put in your box, but you're going to tie whatever you put in your box, tie it down so that it doesn't rattle around. I mean, you could put glue dots down if you wanted to, and we're just going to thread this through. You could put some toiletries in here, you know, like the travel size toiletries, like a shower gel or a shampoo or a moisturiser or something. You could put chocolate in like I have in the male one. Yeah, do whatever really. So we're just threading that through, making sure our ends are roughly equal. And I'm just going to tie a bow for now. And then I know I've got plenty of ribbon to tie round whatever I'm going to put in. Okay, so it doesn't look very pretty at the moment, but there you go. If you've got a better hole punch that will reach in further than mine did, that would be better, or use a pokey tool. Use a pokey tool. I think that's what I will do next time. So hopefully by now our magnets have set. This is where it could all go horribly wrong. Yes, they have. They've stuck down. Brilliant. So it's a case. Oh no, that one hasn't. That one's come off. Let's just stick it down again, because we can see where it goes. Make sure you've got the right side glued down. Okay, now for this part of your box, you will need some pieces of patterned paper that are 2 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I have gone ahead and I have cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, because if I bring in this one, when you open the box, it's like bare inside. Can you see? And I thought, you can see all the glue on there, look, I thought it would be quite nice to decorate the base of that. So before I glue this section down, I'm going to do that. So this is what I'm going to put on the inside, because it kind of coordinates with that. and make sure I've got my swans the right way up. So this is going to be glued on the hold on a minute. Yeah, that's going to go on the back of my box here. Like so, and I'm just slotting it in, eyeballing it, moving it down from that score line actually, because we still want our box to close. And then for the bottom, I've used one of these journaling cards. These are lovely, these journaling cards. These again I got from Cheryl Simone Crafts. This is the watercolour, is it? I'd like the paper pad in this, but I've just cut this down. Live the moment that you cannot put into words. I thought that was a really nice little sentiment. And again, I've cut it down and I've backed it onto some black card. And this again is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And we're going to put that in the bottom of our box so that there's something to look at. And again, it's just adding another layer of reinforcement to the base of our box, so it's making it really strong. I'm just going to drop that in and position it and just burnish down like so. So that's the inside of our box done. Now we want to do the outside. And I'm just looking to see which piece goes best with that. So I think I'm going to, oh yeah, because that's kind of that follows on. Yeah. Oh, that's fortuitous. So I'm going to glue this on the front, which will cover those magnets. Okay, just putting it on like so. Yeah, so that follows on really nicely. And just going to burnish that down. And I'm just going to decorate the rest of the box now. So there is our little box completed. I haven't covered the bottom, but you could if you wanted to. And then for the side pieces, you just need 2 squares that are 2 1/4 inches square, because they're squares. So we've now just got to pop this in, and it's just a case of opening our box. I'm going to use Collal again for strength, and just making sure I've got the right bit, and I'm going to glue this section quite substantially, and then just line it up here like so, and you can see how that just folds down, and I'm just going to let that settle and let the glue dry, and I'll just come back to you. I don't want to move that while it's glued down because it'll shift, but you can see the kind of shape there. Let's put lid on glue. Let's find something to put inside as well, shall we? Yes, I'll just find something to pop inside and I'll come back. I had a little play at trying to find something that would go inside, and wasn't very successful. So yes, and my ribbon's come undone. What you will need to do, I have punched this hole too far forward. You really need your first punch hole to be much further back. I don't know whether you can see that, and then you'll be able to secure whatever you want to put inside much more efficiently than I have. It's just that my little hole punch wasn't didn't have enough depth. So yes, I would definitely do this again, but with a pokey tool. Let's just tie this into a little bow. Put a little chocolate bar, some jewellery. I wouldn't put anything mega heavy in it. Maybe a miniature bottle of something. But it is just such a pleasing action. And you can see in the bottom of our box there, we've got our little hidden sentiment. So I've just stepped it up a little bit from what Sam did, just to make that a little bit nicer. And of course you could decorate all of the inside of this box actually, but you'd have to be careful that it didn't impede your box opening. And I'm just going to leave that like that. I'm not even going to put a sentiment on it. I mean, how nice would that be sat on a chest of drawers or someone's dressing table or a mantelpiece or something. I just think that is so nice. And here's my prototype that I made with the Maltesers treat bar. Those fit perfectly in this. So that is day 30 done and dusted. I've got a real gem of a project for the last one tomorrow, so I do hope you'll come back and join me then. If you've liked this, please share, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all the good YouTube stuff. Thanks so much everybody. Bye now.